everyone, so today I wanted to make another tutorial for you guys. So I wanted to show you how I remove set-in stains on dolls. You know, sometimes dolls will have Sharpie or pen or marker stains or just really weird stains that might be dye from their clothes. Basically things that you can't get out with nail polish remover or rubbing alcohol or just a good scrubbing. So I have 3 dolls to show you on. I like to have a variety of dolls when I make tutorials just so you can see how these sorts of methods work on different dolls and different types of stains. I'm going to show you my dolls and the supplies I use, and you really don't need much. So you're going to need plastic wrap. You're going to need a Q-tip. You don't have to have a Q-tip if you don't want, but it basically helps apply the cream. A towel or rag that you don't care about. You can see this guy has seen better days. And of course, this stuff, which is what will actually remove the stain. So this is acne medication. So basically, the idea behind using acne medication is the active ingredient. So that's benzoyl peroxide. And it's the peroxide in this that lifts the stain. So if you didn't know, peroxide is basically a chemical that lifts things. So even in like laundry stain removers, there's peroxide, or even with hair color, if it's a permanent hair color or bleach, you're mixing peroxide in that to lift so you can deposit the color. It's the same concept with this. That's basically what it does. If you've ever used acne medication with some kind of peroxide in it and you've gotten some on your clothes, you might have noticed your clothes got discolored. Well, that's why, because of the active ingredient peroxide. This is the kind that has 10% benzoyl peroxide, so this is pretty strong. And again, this is just the kind I use because my sister buys this for herself. But you can use the 5%. My sister's only been able to find the 5% sometimes to use on herself, and that's what I've ended up having to use on my dolls. And it works fine, it just will take longer for the stain to come out. Basically, the stronger the peroxide is in the acne medication, the quicker the stains will come out. So just a few quick little disclaimers. I will link my written out tutorial on my Flickr account down below where I explain everything in really great detail, but just a few things that you should know. Obviously, you want your dolls to be completely undressed for this process. Just because on the off chance that you get a little messy with the peroxide, you don't want any of it getting on the clothes and discoloring their clothes. Secondly, dolls from the 70s, like Barbies from the 70s, have a different sort of skin coloring. Basically, the dye was added to their skin after. So when you put peroxide on a Barbie from the 70s, it will actually discolor the skin, so it'll leave the skin as like a pale color instead of skin flesh colored. And I've had to do that a few times on some of my fancy dolls because they had really bad stains. So you have to kind of decide if you're going to be removing stains on an older doll, if it's worth it to have the stain or to have the discoloration left from removing the stain. So on my fancy dolls, they had big blue marks, like really dark blue marks that looked like blue Sharpie or something. So honestly, having like a slightly lighter patch looked a lot better. So I decided to do that. But it is something to keep in mind. You can use this to treat green ear on vintage Barbies, but again, you have to be careful. I have actually done that with one of my vintage Barbies named Bubbles. It will take off Sharpie. I've used it on American Girl dolls and it's gotten rid of the Sharpie that was under my Nellie doll's eyes. It's gotten rid of marker that was scribbled all over my Gem Styling Merida doll. I have a bunch of pictures in my Dolly Transformations album showing the different sorts of toys that I've used this treatment on and the different types of stains. Unfortunately, I only have a few because I don't usually have to do this. This isn't a treatment I'm doing like all the time. I can speak from experience that this is pretty safe. Even if you get a little bit of it on the doll's actual face paint, as long as the doll's not going out for days and days and days on end, you should be okay. Just try to be really neat with where you apply it because obviously this is a peroxide and you are putting the doll out in direct sunlight, and the UV damage from the sun can actually fade dolls too. So without further ado, I'm going to show you what I do. Okay, so these are my 3 candidates for stain removal. I have this body donor here that, as you can see, it has blue marks all over the feet. I'm not really sure what it's from. We have Live in Concert Chloe, who has blue dotting also on her arm. Excuse my fingernails, that's stamp ink from a Polly Pocket I was cleaning. And then we have Star Singer's Chloe, who might be harder to see, but she basically has blue banding on her arms. It almost looks like dyed blood on her. So that's what I'm going to try to get out. Is you're going to get some plastic wrap. So it's just on this foot. So I'm going to take my acne cream with my Q-tip, put a little bit on. You don't want it too much or it'll make a mess. And then I'm just going to apply it all over the stain in a medium thick coat, so not like all globby but not super thin. And then I'm going to take my plastic wrap and I'm going to wrap her foot up. So the reason for the plastic wrap is that it keeps the treatment moist. Once this stuff dries out, it doesn't work as well. So you want to keep it wrapped. So I'm going to do the same thing on Chloe. And you want to wrap them up pretty tight just to ensure that it doesn't dry out. And you want to be careful while wrapping because you can smear the peroxide around so it's not on the right spot anymore. Okay, so now we're outside on my back deck here. And the important thing is that the dolls need to be out on a sunny day, and it helps if it's warm and there's a lot of direct sunlight, because the way the stains get removed is the way that the peroxide activates under the sun's direct rays. So it's pretty muggy out right now. It's supposed to get to like 80 today, so hopefully these stains will all come out today, but there's no guarantee. So as you can see, I put my towel down on my little table out here to keep them from getting dirty, and because it's really important to cover whatever it is that you're not trying to remove the stains on. Not that being out in the sun for one day is necessarily going to do tons of irreversible damage, but I like to err on the side of caution. So this could take a few hours. They could all come out right away, or I could need to put them out for another day or two. It kind of just depends. So it's very touch and go, but it's important to remember to take them in each day and look at how much progress they've made. And I will be inserting before and after pictures at the end of this video. So I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, so it is day 2. I wiped off the stain remover last night when the sun had started to go away and was no longer on my back deck. They've definitely made progress. So Chloe still has stains, but as you can see, they've faded a lot. And the little pink marks she had on her legs, which I'm not sure if you could see those before, are all gone. And then this Chloe, her blue marks also faded, but they're still present, so she's going to have to go out again. I've got Barbie over here. You can see that she has no stains on her feet, which means this body is good to go. So I'll be back when I've put these dolls out for a second treatment, and I'll update you with how they've done. Okay, so this is after the third treatment on Star Singer's Chloe and Live in Concert Chloe. Star Singer's Chloe is all set, so I'm just going to photograph her pictures for her after shot, and unfortunately Live in Concert Chloe still has some really faint marks. So I put Chloe out again yesterday, and there's still the slightest dot, but it's raining now, and it will be raining and cloudy for the rest of the week, and the temperature is really cooled off here, so I won't be putting Chloe out again. I'm really satisfied with the results. Obviously, if it was a warmer, sunnier day, I would have been able to get rid of all of the stains, but they're so faint that it's really irrelevant. Okay, so the two dolls are back on display. So we have Star Singer's Chloe, who is stain-free. You can't see where the stains were removed, but they are underneath her sleeves there. And then Live in Concert Chloe in the back. I know it's kind of hard to see. So I hope this video helped you guys out. I will leave a link to the written out tutorial on my Flickr down below, and if you want to see more before and after pictures of the other dolls I've removed stains from, check out my Dolly Transformations album on Flickr. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.